Good afternoon. This is your recorded video for our session on strategic objectives and levels of strategies. So what do you see in the picture? Is this your favorite place to go to? McDonald's? So what is McDonald's known of or familiar? What strategy have they adopted? So they're primarily known as a leader for cost leadership. What is cost leadership? So McDonald's can offer different menus at cheaper prices compared to other competitors. So they already know how to standardize their product, efficiency in their production. That's why they can be able to set an amount or a price for a different menu that is quite affordable to their target market. So these are your learning outcomes. First, you should be able to define what is strategic management, relate between strategic objectives, levels of strategies and grand strategy, and understand why strategy formulation is important in the planning process. Okay, let's review what is the POLC framework again. So the first box here talks about planning, and this is composed of the vision and mission setting, strategizing goals and objectives, and these form part of your strategy formulation. The organizing, leading, and controlling make up the strategy implementation, which we will also discuss in the coming sessions. Okay, for an introduction, what is strategic management? So this reflects what a firm is doing to achieve its mission and vision as seen by its achievements of specific goals and objectives. So the process by which a firm manages the formulation as well as implementation of its strategy. And strategic management also means the coordinated effort by which an organization achieves its goals and objectives according to Carpenters and Sanders. So the other name for strat formulation could be what? Business planning as well as strategic planning. So let's go over with this infographic, the strategy cycle. So we have discussed in prior sessions about how to set or how to craft your vision statements, your mission statements, value statements. And now we're moving to connect those vision and mission into specific strategies. Okay, so strategic analysis. Then later on, from the strategies, you can develop respective objectives and then create and choose strategies which you think is more effective. Implement strategies, measure it, and control it, and that it also shows you a feedback loop going back to your mission and vision setting to calibrate it, to change it, or to refine a little bit. Okay, this will tell you about the strategizing process. So let's take a look, for example, for SM group of companies. So SM has different individual business units or specific business units, SBUs. Like what? They have Watsons, they have banking arm, they also have department store, they have leasing for their restaurants. They also have a residential unit for condominiums, okay? What else? They also have, of course, the customer service department, okay? So business strategy that for each of those businesses, they develop individual or respective business strategies and ask, how should we compete? Now, for the corporate strategy, that means to say the top level management. So this constitutes already the board of directors, CEOs, COOs, and probably regional or area managers. So their concern would pertain about these questions. What business or businesses should we be in? And how does being in one business help us compete in other businesses? Okay, let's talk about what are important elements that they need to consider before they can craft strategy. So this is called your strategic inputs. So where to get inputs? So firms would gather information and conduct analysis about the internal characteristics of the organization as well as its external market conditions. So internal appraisal refers to what is capabilities and skills, what are they good at, and what are they missing or lacking their skills at, or gaps. So that refers to the strengths and weaknesses. External appraisal refers to what is available or would present opportunities in the market, as well as challenges or threats that they have to consider before they craft their strategies. Okay, so these are the 4 basic questions that we need to ask. What can we do? Given that we have these strengths, what do we want to do? What are the opportunities available? What might we do? As well as what do others expect us to do? Okay, so according to Ken Andrews, this is the framework for developing an SWOT or SWOT analysis. Some analysts would also call it TOWS, TOWS, or instead of T, they would put C, so it's SWOT analysis. Okay, so as you can recall from the previous slide, your internal appraisal could refer to strengths and weaknesses, and your external appraisal would lead to determination of your opportunities and threats. These two at the above. Okay, so when you have listed those different strengths, okay, on this box, and on top opportunities, when you match them S and O, that would lead you to your strengths and opportunities strategies. So this answers the question, how can you use your strengths to take advantage of the opportunities? If you now combine strengths and threats, this will go to this matrix, S and T. So that answers, how can you take advantage of your strengths to avoid real and potential threats? Now, if you have to go through weakness and opportunities, this would now answer this lower matrix here, WO. How can you use your opportunities to overcome the weaknesses? So there are opportunities available, for example, for expansion, but you know that you are weak. Let's say, for example, you lack financial resources. So how can you use that opportunities to overcome the weaknesses? And then the last matrix down here in the lower right would be your WT. How can you minimize your weaknesses and avoid threats? So each of these boxes here would result to a specific strategies. Okay, so this is a possible strategic path from vision to objective for company Disney. So as you can recall, their vision is more on emotional recognition, make people happy. Mission statement is to offer quality entertainment. And how will they do it? They can release 3 movies this year. Okay, let's go to the BCG matrix, the Boston Consulting Group. So this tells you how do you place each of the specific business units in this kind of quadrant. So you have two parameters here. On your x-axis is the market share from low to high, and over here in your vertical is the market growth. Over here is the low level and the high level. So this kind of analysis, BCG matrix, is applicable only if you have various or varied specific business units like SM Group of Companies that they have, as what we have said, pharmacy like Watson's, banking, BDO, real estate, and leasing, for example, and department store, okay? So let's see, for example, out of those four specific business units, where will you place them? So what are dogs? Dogs, so this refers to business units that are doing poorly in a low growth market and should be divested or should be sold. Okay, what do you think? So probably a hardware store in SM could be a potential dog business, okay? So they have a low market share and probably low market growth. Okay, let's go to question mark. Question mark. Here, these business units are not doing well in a high growth market, and the CEO will need to decide to invest or scrap the business. So what do you think? So probably some elements or some specific stores in their department store, correct? Like a baby department or a maternity department. So those are question marks. So what do we need to do if those business units are under question mark? So the CEO will we need to decide to invest in or totally close that business. So question mark, what shall we do? And then for cash cows, so cash cows have what? These business units have high market share in a market that is not growing. CEOs should use the money they earn to invest in the stars. So cash cows means what? You're putting more money, but lesser money are coming into your coffers. So it seems like you don't get much return of your investment. And then, let's say, for example, that could be potentially some leasing spaces that probably are not yet rented by other people. And then on top is the star. So these business units in the star quadrant have high market share in a high growth market. They are generating revenue, but the CEO should invest to keep growing its market share. So like for example, what? Grocery store, correct? Those are stars. They're earning the source of high income earning for the company. But you need to invest more money in order to sustain the growth and the profitability of that business. So this is a BCG matrix. Okay, next, how grant strategies are translated into objectives and actions. So you can see on top, this is the business level strategy. In the middle is the corporate level as well as the international level. So here you have grant strategy, strategic objectives, and what are the potential action that would lead to the attainment of the grant strategy. So what do you notice here? So all of these levels of strategy adapt the growth strategy, okay? So let's say, for example, business level strategy. Okay, let's consider um, Watsons, for example. They want to achieve growth for a business, okay? Now, how do they put that into strategic objectives? To increase business revenue by 25% by next year, for example. And then the potential action could be introduce a new product or to expand a new location. Okay, now for the corporate level, that means to say for the group of companies for SM, for example, they also want to adopt growth. So the CEOs or the board of directors would say, let's increase corporate revenue by 10%. So once they do that, they will decide to acquire a competitor for hardware, for example, another competitor for pharmacy, competitor for bank, and expand to a new country and develop a business in an entirely new industry. Probably like what? An auto industry that they have not engaged in prior years. Now, the last level here is international strategy. Again, the grant strategy is growth. Okay, they will attract 10% overall market share in a new country, like for example, China, okay, or UAE. So export markets to that country, then acquire a local company in that country to gain their customers. So what do you see here? So this is the grand strategy of growth. How would each of the levels translate the growth strategy into specific objectives as well as specific potential actions? Okay, levels of strategic planning. So you have strategic planning, tactical plan, and operational plan. So each of these different types of plans, they are assigned to different levels also. Top managers do strategic planning, and they answer the question why. So from here, those questions and those plans are still broad, okay? Just like, for example, increasing 10% revenue. So how would that be translated to specific business units by the pharmacy, by the hardware, by the department store, grocery store? And then this translates to how would these strategic plans be put into tactical actions? Okay, in the next 1 to 3 years, how would they do it? So the middle managers are in charge. We're doing it in translating into tactical actions, and these middle managers would answer the question what? What are the specific activities we need to do in order to increase our revenue? And then operational plans are done by the frontliners. So they answer the question how. How do we increase our sales by selling, for example, a specific product in the hardware. How do we increase by sales in the department store? So these are the operational plans. So from broad level, it is now translated into somehow a narrower focus. Okay, coming from the strategic, tactical to operational plans. Remember, operational plans are done within a less year period. Okay, so these are the 3 different actions to support a differentiation strategy and ways to measure results. So product differentiation. So example, when you go to Starbucks, so Starbucks is known for product differentiation because they offer coffee. Other companies can also offer, but what makes their coffee more enjoyable? Why do people would love to Starbucks and paying a high price, but yet they still like to stay in Starbucks? So tactical plan, strategic plan is product differentiation, then tactical plan is to innovate. And then operational plan, how would they do it? Let's say, for example, hire 3 engineers to develop new products. Let's say, for example, for Toyota, in this case. Or if in Starbucks, probably operational plan for innovation could be what? Continue to develop 2 more what you call this variants of coffee every year. Okay. And then performance measure in terms of Toyota engineers, number of new products launched. Or in Starbucks also could be the same evaluation, number of variants launched. Okay, new variants that is launched. Okay, another example for product differentiation is to increase customer service satisfaction. And this lower one is on quality improvement. So you can measure that quality improvement by the defect rate per 10,000 units of product sold. Okay, so these are your key takeaways. I hope you have learned something from today's online class. And you can add more whatever you have understood from our class as well as from your readings. Okay, so the next session is on strategic analysis.